All right. First of all, is there anyone here who has not attended the first, class kind of Appian demo, or everyone has attended the last session? All right. I'm going to ping few links into the chat box. Please open that and register yourself to that Appian community, and let me know if you guys are facing any issues. I have pasted into the community. The first one is the Appian community link. Please try to register yourself if not already. Did you guys get that link? Hello?
Yes, we got the link. There in the chat window.
Yeah, please
We're
register yourself.
trying to register it.
Yeah, please. So first one is the Appian community. The same is the second one is the same, extension of the Appian community link, where you will get your free edition to get your instance to work. So first of all, you need to register yourself. Once you guys will register, right? You can click on the second link. You will get this page. Here you can click on the request your environment, right? So let me know if you have any issues, anything if you're facing out.
Yeah, I tried to register it. It's
Okay.
as it, it s- I got an email saying that I have to verify it, and I did it, and it's saying set up multi-factor authentication. Is that I
Yes.
have to set up all of this?
Yes. I mean, no, any one of them is required. Either you go for mobile or email, whatever is easy for you. You can go with that. Okay, guys. Meanwhile, you guys register yourself. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Someone has arrived at my door. Let me. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Sorry for that. Hey, sorry guys. Is that done? Are you guys able to get your environment? Hello.
Yes, Ravi.
Okay.
Yes, Ravi.
Everyone. Yeah. Anybody is facing any issues? Okay. Okay, guys. Very first thing, you guys need to be very communicative. You have to ask questions and then you have to discuss. So be interactive. Being silent is not gonna help you guys. I'll be coming here and then giving my speech and then I'll go, right. That's not gonna work. So please be interactive. Speak as much as possible. Ask any questions, whatever you have, right? Okay. All right, then let's start. Let me share my screen. So I have my environment with me. This is the environment that I've been using for last few trainings. Okay, so first of all, as you guys remember, right? I mean, this is the designer view of the Appian instance where we can actually develop our codes. All right. So you can see that into the link URL, it says your community edition link, and then we have a shoot, and then we have a design, right? If you go with the basic interface, I mean the basic page that basic users used to have, that's called tempo. So if you click on tempo, you'll see that the URL, the shoot, and then tempo. Okay. So this is the this page is accessible for all the users, like in fact the basic users, because they have to interact with the application. But as a developer, we should be having the access of this page, designer page. Okay. So here we will be creating the applications. All right. So what is an application? Why do we need and create an application? So whatever requirement we are going to create, right? Suppose let's say if you are going to create an application called incident management system or the management system or customer onboarding. So that will be called as an application, name of your application, right? And then we should also have a package which will contain all the objects that we will be creating to develop that particular applications, like expression rules, constants, the interface, all those things. So let's go and see what are the objects that we have in our Appian. Okay, we'll start from there. So what kind of objects we will be, using in our application. All right. So first of all, what is an application? How do we create that? All right. So to create an application, we have a link called new application, right? So you just go and click on the new application and you put a name. All right. So for example, I'm going to put a name, say, test app. Okay, so test app is going to be the name of our application. I'll say dummy application for learning. Okay, and there is something called prefix. What is a prefix? Because if whatever object we will be creating, right, so those objects will be have name. Those objects name will be start from the prefix, whatever it is there. So by default what it takes is take the first character of your name of your applications. Like from here it's taking ta, so ta is becoming the prefix. If this is being already used, you can also modify it. All right, it's that possible to modify it. Okay. Right now, I'm just going to uncheck this checkbox just to show you like what are the objects we have. We don't need this for now. Whenever we will be creating a new application, I'll check this checkbox and we'll see what are the objects will be get created by the system itself. All right. Once you click on create, we'll come to the security part. Right now, I'm just skipping this. I'm just click on save. Right. Once you click on that, you will see that an application has been created. TA test app. Right. This application has been created, and this will be listed here. Okay. Now, once we click on this application, we'll get inside the application package. Now we are inside the application package, and you will see that there are four options. One is the explore, which will be showing you the, if there are any items that you have created, like portal sites or record and all, that will be listed here. Otherwise, we have another called build. The build is the basic, I mean, the required page or tab where we are actually creating these objects. Okay. The other thing is that deploy. If you want to deploy from one environment to other environment, we need to come to this options, and then we have to deploy it. And then we have a monitor. So monitor is being used to monitor any running instances if we have. So instances will be of the process models, right? So whatever process model we'll be creating, those running instances will be visible here. We'll see all those in the details sometimes, but let's see and go and discuss about the objects that we have. Okay, one by one. So what are the objects we can have in an Appian, right? If you click on the new, you will be able to see that these are the list of the objects that we can create in an application to develop the entire application. Okay, the entire requirements, these are the objects that we'll be creating it. So what are the objects we have? Let's start from the data type. Okay, so what is the data type? And if anybody knows what kind of data type is there into the or other languages?
So integer, float, real, like
Yes.
character,
Exactly. So
varchar.
those are the primitive data type, right? So integer, character, and then float, as you said, and or the text, number decimal, or a boolean. All are these primitive data type. Same, we also have it into the Appian. Okay, Appian also gives you those options where you can have number, integer, decimal, boolean, text, right? All those primitive data types are there. But for example, let's see. You want to capture details of an employee, right, which can have its first name, last name, date of birth, and then all those information collectively, right? So if you want to collect all those information at one place, what do you call to that? in any language specific you want to mention, like C or Java, what do you call that?
No, can you please come up again? What is the question?
I mean, like suppose if you want to collect your all information of an employee at one place, like their first name, last name, date of birth, date of joining, age, all those things, right? These are the
All the
different
functions
fields.
or all the values allocated?
Where cat? That's what we use.
I mean, that will be Werker, that will be individually, right? I want to collect all those at one place as a
Structure, you mean?
package. Yeah, sorry,
Like,
what is that?
Text.
you mean like a structure? Like where you can hold all the
Exactly. That's
properties in. Okay.
exactly that's the structure, right? In Java, you may call it a class, which have all those information collectively together, right? In Appian, we call that as a CDT, custom data type. Where we can bring all those information and we can club it together and we can form a CDT, right? For example, we can create a CDT of type employee, and where we can go and define the all those different fields, all those different attributes at one place. So collectively we will be capturing all those information, right? Why do we need that, right? For example, suppose we have an interface. In that interface we have five fields. Okay, now if I want to capture all those five fields value, what we have to do, we have to create five different variables, right? For like first name, last name, age, and all, right? We have to create different variables, and all those five variables we have to maintain everywhere, isn't it? So that is a very difficult task to do. So what do? We create a custom data type and define all those five data type in one package, and we only have to deal with the one CDT, which will be used to pass and pass the information from one place to another place. Okay, I will be showing by creating one example. But did you get any idea what is a data type?
Yeah, got it.
All
So
right. So
quick question. The data type you are saying is just an object of a class or what is it?
you can refer that as an object of a class, like which will be having a structure of your different attributes at one place.
So it will have different structures inside one data type, or one data type will contain a let's say you have a car. So it will
Mhm.
contain, let's say, different attributes of the car, or it can contain variables inside it, which can itself be an object of something else.
Both are possible.
Both are possible. Okay. So
Yes,
data
like for
type can
example,
contain other data types in
yeah,
it.
correct, exactly. So that's, for example, if you want to say like school has one structure, like class and all, and school may have as a sub one of the data type as called teachers or the students. That can also be another data type. Okay. All right. So I'll show you that thing. Before going to there, in Appian, okay, let me quickly note it down the topics that we are covering it, right? So we are covering for the data types. All right. So you got the point that data type, what's the data type is, right? So we have something called expression rules in Appian. For example, like suppose in Java, you want to create a function which will be doing some addition and returning you the result, right? So we used to define a function, or and then we pass the values and then we get the result. So that function is used to do some calculations. In Appian also, we create an expression rule. The purpose of expression rule is that we pass some value and we get some data by using any calculation what we want to perform with that data into that particular expression rule. So expression rule is basically used to do some calculation, yeah, and then or we retrieve the data or whatever we need to perform, right, and then return you the result. That's what the purpose of your expression rule. All right. So that's what I'm going to create one expression rule where we will be using this variable and see how this variable behaves. Do we need to declare the type in Appian or how it works, right? So, and we also see how many types of variables we have in Appian. All right. So let's go and create one expression rule. So when you click on new, we go to the expression rule, and let's say we do select do addition. Okay, so I'm just giving some name to it, like just to make sure, like by looking into the expression rule name we can understand what it is doing. We can also put some description. You have to make name very not very in the descriptive way, just short and simple. But you can put a description like, to understand what this rule is performing, expression rule is doing. So you can say this rule is to this rule is used to do addition of two numbers. Okay, all right. And we also need to save somewhere, right? Right now we have not created any folder to capture this one. We will see how to create the folders. For now, I'm just creating a new folder. We'll come to this one. So I'm just trying to create a folder name, say rules, expression rules. This is the name of the folder. I'm just giving it. Okay, I'll say create. So now you will see that in our application package, two things has been created. One, the folder that I created, and then the rule. TA do addition. So this is a rule that was created, and here nothing is there. It's a blank rule. All right. Now, how do we declare the variables? Because we need to do the addition. Okay. So to declare a variable in Appian, we use local variable function. So we say local variable. So this is the local variable function. Okay. Yeah, there was a question. Okay, so to declare local variable function, we need to use this particular a bang. This a bang is called the domain of the functions that we are using. So to declare a function, we a bang belongs to a people functions. People functions, we have certain things. This is like local variable, and here we will be declaring a variables for our purpose, right? To declare a variable, we use a prefix called local bang, like say value x, for example. All right, so same way we can say local bang value y. So these are the two variables we have declared. Just like in Java we say, right, or like where x or where y in JavaScript, we are using it, right? So here we use local function, local bang value or name of your variable. So local bang value x and local bang value y. So this is how you can declare a variable. All right, you do not have to define the type of a variable, like it is going to be number integer or it is going to be text. It will be automatically working if you just assign the value, right? It will treat as a number integer. Okay, so what I have done, I have declared two variables, local x, value x and value y, and assigned two values to it, 10 to the local value x and 20 to the local value y. So internally, Appian will understand, okay, these two variables are kind of an integer variable. You don't have to declare. Okay, now what is the purpose? I just want to say local bang value x plus local bang value y. Okay, now if I click on test rule, I'll be getting the results back to 30. Okay, so this is how we declare a variable called within the local variable functions. Now what will happen? This variable y says local. As the name says, it's a local. It will be available within this structure itself, not outside of this one. So you cannot get the value of local x outside of this rule. From wherever you are calling to this rule, you will get the result, you will get the final result, but you will not get the value of local x and y, because it's a local to this particular function, this local variable function. Okay, any doubt here, guys?
I have one question though.
Yeah.
So if we are accepting, like when we created the function, we created it in a folder, right? So this is basically a function, I'm assuming. So how do we know which class this function belongs to, or what, like if you want to override it and all that, how would we know? Because we just created in a folder, right?
Mm-hmm. So see what happens whenever we create a folder, right? This folder is required to create once, and you can add multiple rules to within this one, right? It's not like one rule for one folder is required. This is a folder structure where we have to define all our rules. Like if we are creating the expression rules, then we'll put all those our expression rules within these two folders, with these folders. So
Okay.
whenever whatever objects you will create, right, that needs to be captured somewhere in some folder structure, so you can easily identify and search it. That's why we
So,
need a folder.
okay, so the data type will also belong to a folder, or how will that
No, no,
work?
no, no. Those are within the Appian, inbuilt, you can say, what do I say that, um, inbuilt folders of this Appian, and they have it somewhere. You
Okay.
can't find where that rule belongs, where this function is staying, right? You can't find it out. It is in the some library of your Appian. It has a different memory allocation for those rules and everything, whatever Appian gives you. But the one that we are creating, this is the one that we are creating, right? This is also going to behave as a function, right? This is a that is the user created function. If you imagine, like, this is a rule that which is doing the addition. Okay, this is a rule which is doing the addition. So this is going to capture some folder at some folder that we have created, right? But this functions, if you see this local variable function, this is somewhere at the Appian library. You can't find it. No, you just use it. You can refer it, but you cannot go and make the changes to this function.
So the
Mm.
thing here is like, it's you are saying this, the first one you have taken as a function. So you are not capturing the value anywhere. You are adding you are adding it, but you are not capturing the result. Do you think that the result will be in some? You are having a folder for that, right? For
Mm-hmm.
the capturing the result.
No, no, no. That folder is not for the result. That folder is to keep this expression rules
I think the
to it
folder is
within it.
just holding the rule itself.
Yes,
That,
that holding this
I
rule,
don't
not the
think this
result.
function is returning anything, right? There is
Yeah,
no
this
return
function is
variable.
no.
It's
We
just
don't
the
have to. We do not have to type a return. Whatever the last statement will be there, right? That will be
Mhm.
treated as a return.
So that will
Like
be
for
treated as a
example,
return automatically. Okay.
exactly. Now let's say if I declare one more local variable, say local bank value z, okay, and assign this value local x plus local y to it, right? Now if I try to test rule, right, it will not be able to return. It will say we have a definition of the local value z, but you are not returning anything. So what we have to do, we just
Local
have to
values.
return the local value z to it. Now if I
Oh, like that.
do that,
That's considered as a return. Whatever value is there in the last one
yes,
line is
yes,
considered as
the
a return.
last line is treated as a return.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay,
this is basically we are just creating functions. That's it, right? And
you can
putting
say,
them.
yeah, expression rules are basically you are creating your own functions to bring your data according to yours, right? Whatever the calculation you want to do, it will bring the data according to your whatever you want to perform. Like in future you will be creating some expression rules to get the data from the database, right? So for that we will be using some query rules and all, right, to bring the data from the database to the Appian. So for that we will be required expression rules.
Sorry, I didn't get one thing. You created
Mm-hmm.
that folder, right? Expression something there. Can you please go back there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you now this is what the function name that we have given, the ta underscore do addition.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this expression rules? What is this folder for?
So this expression rule is only to capture the expression rules that we are creating, just to organize your rules accordingly. For example, this is the expression rule folder, right? I can also create one interface folder, and all the interfaces that we will be creating, we will be capturing to that particular folder. If you want to organize in a such a way, right? So that's the thing. It's just the repository of your rules, right? If you want, you can keep all your expression rules, interface rules, constant in one folder itself, or if you want to create different folders for different objects, like for expression rule one object, one folder, for interface one other folder. Likewise, you can also create multiple folders. There's no use of this one. It's just keeping those, organizing your objects accordingly. That's what you're doing. Now, for example, let's say I'll say create one more expression rule, and this one I will give the name as call addition. Okay, you see this save in folder, it says save in folder is the same one that I have created. It's already there, p expression folder, right? I'll just give a description, mention that this rule will call the do addition uh, rule. Okay, I'll say create. Now you see that one, we have created one expression rule which is doing the addition by 10 and 20 by taking the local variables, right? And both of the rules I have created where into the expression rule folder. If you open this one, you will see both the rules are staying at this place. So that's what the purpose. It's just to organize your rules accordingly. Okay. Now, in this expression rule, what I'm going to do is that I do not need to declare any local variable here. I just need to call the rule that I have created. The rule that I have created was do addition, ta underscore do addition, and to refer that particular rule, we will be using the parameter called rule bank ta underscore do addition. This is a rule that we have created, right? Now, if I click on test rule, can anyone tell me what will be the output I will get?
The addition, whatever, 10 plus 20, 30.
Yeah, so that is what we are getting it, right? So that is what the purpose of this folder is, that only to capture whatever rules we are creating into a one place. So if you want to find any expression rule, you can search by name, or suppose you have forgotten the name, then you have to go and find into the multiple folders, right? So instead of that, you can just go to the expression rule folder, and then you can find it easily there. So that's what the purpose of folders. It is behaving just like a repository. Whatever we have objects we have created, the actual thing is getting performed, that is getting performed by the rules that we are doing it. So this is the rule where we are making this addition, and then we are returning the result, and where we created another rule where we are just calling that particular one, and then we are getting the result here, right? So you see that, right? How do we call another rule that we have created to our another rule, the new rule? So here we are calling another rule that was created by us, and then we are getting the result. Any doubt here?
So here, I was just comparing with the C.
Mhm.
Here, there is no terminator or anything. Just we can just call the function. So
Yes.
when we created this one, what is the rule TA do addition? You
Mm-hmm.
created like a folder, right?
Uh, no, sure. I mean, the folder is just forget about the folder. Folder is just to keep this organize this object at one place. Folder is doing nothing. It's just keeping this all this rules that we're creating at one place. There's nothing have to do with the coding of that particular folder. Folder I just created to make as a repository. It's nothing has to do with the variables and all. It's not going to work with any results or something. It's just you are organizing your objects accordingly. Like how do I say that? You're packing your jeans at one place, t-shirts at other box. Just you are organizing your objects in accordingly. That's what the folder purpose is.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with the rules.
Okay.
Huh? So this is the rule that we created, which is used to do the addition, and then we have created another rule which is calling that rule that we have created, and we are getting the result back. So this is how we can also call one rule within another rule. Okay, so this is about a local. I just wanted to explain the local variables, how it behaves. Okay, all right. It's just not about the integer. We can also create a local variables which can be treated as a text field. Okay, and we can see how the text field can also work. Let's do that. Um, let's create another expression rule. So you see that I'll just going to create another expression rule. Like um, work with text text variables. Okay, uh, demi rule for text values. Okay, I'll say create. Now you see that, right? While creating itself, it was taken that name, the expression rule folder. So that expression rule folder is just to keep that at one place. Now, what is the function we need to use to declare local variables? If you want to declare any local variables, what is the function we need to use?
A local variables like
Yeah, a bang local variables. That is correct. Okay. Now let's say we declare another local variable, say local bang well x. Okay, and then I can declare another local variable called y. Okay. Now initially we created, if you remember in the last rule we created and we assigned the value 10 and 20. So it was treated as a number integer. Now what I will do here, I will say let's have the value within the double quotes because it's going to a text value. So I'll say within the value I'll say Mohan. Okay, I just put some name here, and in the value y I can assign, let's say Rao. Okay. Now value x has a value called Mohan, and then value y has the name as well Rao. Now let's say I want to use a concat function. Okay. And the concatenating function, what we need to use? I need to pass these values. I'll say local value x, comma, local value y. Okay. If you click on test tool, now it's say the name are being concatenated to each other. Now let's say I also want to add one more space between these two. So what I need to do, I'll just put double quotes, and here I'll just say space. No, so I want to declare a local variable x here, put a blank space here, and then local y. Now click on test rule. Now you see that the this thing, all the values has been concatenated, and we are getting the results. So it's not like that. We can declare on the local as a text or the integer. Whatever value you will assign to it, it will treat it as a that particular value. Now let's say I can say local bang age, and here I'll declare the 10. Okay, and here I can say, now it's not only the concat function that we can use, we can also use ampersand. Ampersand is also used to do the concatenation in Appian. So it's a Mohan Rao, and here I can say like apostrophe s, age is, and then here I'll say another ampersand, I'll say local bang age. Okay, now if I click on text tool, you see that all the text has been added and it's behaving like a number integer, it's behaving like a text. Okay, so this is how we can declare a local variable. So whatever value you will assign to the local variable, it will start treating as that particular one. You don't have to declare the type. Okay, got it?
So ampersand, you are using it as concatenation, right?
Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying, right? And you can also use the concat function, or you can also use the ampersand to do the concatenation.
Okay.
Huh?
So, but concat, concat is that concat function you can use only in order to concat two texts, not the integers, right?
Let's do that. Let's see how it behaves. Now, suppose I remove this ampersand, right, and that
Uh-huh.
bracket. I'll say comma here, and then I'll remove this one. I'll say comma here, and I'll just say. So what we are trying to concat? We are trying to concat value x, comma white space, comma y, comma some text, and then comma local variable age, which is a number integer. Okay, let's click on text roll. It's still the same result. So concat function is not restricting you to do the only over the text. Whatever you will pass, it will get concatenated, but it will treat as a text to it. Okay,
Sorry,
so
I couldn't
concat
see
function.
the result.
This is the result.
Oh, I don't know, where is my screen? Oh, okay. The where is it? Oh, okay.
Can you guys see your screen? Yes,
Test output. That's what. Oh, yeah, got it.
got it. Yeah. So concat function is not restricted with a text field, text values. You can also concat the number integers. You see that local is the number integer, but it's getting concatenated. Okay.
So what? Which language exactly? It's Appian. It has its own, the
Yes.
the formatting then, right?
Yes. See, Appian is built in Java, right? I mean, the code, the Appian platform itself has been built in Java. So you see that all those functions is very similar to the Javas. Now you have the concat function in the Java. You have local
Yeah,
function
but
in Java.
look, for the local variables, when you are declaring, there is no need that you have to give local. What if I give only x equal to Mohan, y equal to Rao,
No,
and age
that
equal
doesn't work. No, you have to mention that local, because it will define that you are declaring a local variable which is local to it. You can't just give the x and equal to 1. You have to do that local bank to declare a variable in
But
Appian.
we don't give that in Java, right?
That's, yeah. I mean, it can't take everything from the Java. It has some modifications for itself as well, right? So yeah, you have to
Suppose if I
give that.
don't give, what happens? That local, if I don't mention it, does it throw error?
Let's do that. It says not a definition of local variable x.
Oh.
Yeah. Now if I say local bang x and then return this local x, like, okay.
And
So
what did you say? Like, A is no, just I don't know.
it's a
A
people
bank. You
function.
said like.
A bang is called people function. So there are certain functions in Appian. For people functions where we can have local variables and all, right. So we use a bang. For some of the functions, this is like mathematical and all, right. We use f and bang. Okay, so that
No,
will
no,
come with
I
the
didn't get it.
practice.
It's a bank, BANK,
BANG, bang. You know, in Latin
bang.
they
Oh,
just say
okay. Sorry
bang. Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Okay,
no problem. All right.
bank.
So yeah, that's how we can declare a local variable. Any doubt to how do we declare a local variable and of the type and all? You get it? Any more doubt questions like number integers or
So
the
whenever we are giving function, we have to give that bank.
yes, exactly. This is required. Like for here also we are defining local, right? Local bank we have to function. So this is how Appian, internally understand. Okay, you are referring to what?
So you mean to say every time whenever we are declaring a function in Appian, so you have to give the a. You mean to say it's a function name? A is called a function name here.
A is a people function. They have categorized the number of functions. So for some of the functions they are putting into the people functions, which is referred by the A bank. Some of there are the mathematical functions, so they use FN bank, function. Like for example, there is a function called logged in user. Okay, let me comment this one. So there is a function called logged in user, which will give you the name of the the logged in users itself, right? So you do not have to mention fn, but if you put it, that's fine. So this is referred by the fn. Okay, so which gives you the
So it's
name of
like
the
a
login.
built-in function.
Yes, all are the built-in functions that we have.
So you call it as F function.
Fn function,
Yeah,
just for
as
the
you said,
function, right?
people function. You call it as a bank as people function,
Yes.
and F function. What do you call it as?
So there are certain mathematical functions which is used for fn. There are certain uh, text functions, all those used as a fn. you know so like we have some text function, like for example, so you don't have to define. See, only the people function is required to be declared as a bank. Other functions, if you don't put it, it will still work. Like for example, logged in user, if I say, right, I don't give the fn here, it will still work. You will get the result. But for the people function, it is required to put a bank.
Oh, got it.
Okay? All right. So now, I mean, yeah, is that clear of this no concatenation? I mean, test. I mean, how to declare local variables. What is a local variable basically, and then how do we work with that? Any doubt?
So, sorry. Uh, so now supposing that we are using global variables, okay? So we are supposed to
Mhm.
take global.
No, no. We'll come to that one. How, if you want to pass a global variable, like if you want to declare a variable which should be treated as a global, we'll come to that part. But I mean, before going there, do you have anyone has any questions on this local variable? Okay. All right. Fine. Now let's do one thing. So we have created this do addition. So this addition is very, whenever we will call this rule, like, here we are calling this call addition, and whenever I'll call it, right, it will be giving the result 30. Very static. No, it's not like it should be based on the R requirement. Whatever number I will pass, I should be get the result, right? To make it a global, and you can say the dynamic. Right now, what is happening? Whenever I'm clicking on this one, whenever I'm calling this rule, I'm just getting the result 30, right? Which is not dynamic in nature. So to make it dynamic in nature, what we have to do is we have to create another variable which is called rule input. Okay, rule input. How do we create that rule input? So on your expression editor on the right hand side, you can see that there's another arrow, and here at the top you can see that rule input. So what we have to do, we have to create a rule input. I'll just say the plus icon, and here you have to declare the type. Let's say I say value x, and this is going to be a type of number integer. Okay, now I'll say another. I'll say value value y, and then it is again going to be number integer. So what I have done, I have created two rule inputs. So rule input is kind of another local another variable which is treated as a global. Okay, now instead of local x and y here, just remove these two lines. Okay, and then here, instead of local variable, because we have deleted, right, so we don't have it, to refer a rule input, I'll just say ri bank. Okay, ri rule input. value x, and plus here I say ri bank value y. Now if I pass the value here, let's say 20 and then here 30, we'll get the result of 50, right here. So right now we are not making use of any local, local variables of different x and y. We are getting from the rule input. Now if I save these changes, right, I just save this rule. Now if I don't pass anything here, so we are getting null, right? But if you pass any values, we'll get the result. Okay, so this is the testing. We are just testing it. Okay, my rule is working or not. All right. Now this, what is the use of this particular rule? This particular rule is going to give you the addition of two numbers, and based on the inputs that you will pass to it. Now if you remember here, whenever we are calling this rule, there was no parameter, but now as we have created two rule inputs, those two rule inputs will be now visible here. Okay, now it says that, okay, the rule that you are trying to call has two parameters, please pass it. If you don't pass it, it will say you do not have passed any parameters to this rule, because initially it wasn't have any inputs. Now we have created two, so we need to pass that, and to pass that we have to get the name. So let's say value x, and I'll pass to it like say 50, and then we have another rule input, we say value y. I'll just pass like say 40. Okay, now if I click on test rule, I am getting the result. Now that same rule is now behaving dynamically, which based on the R number, whatever number we will be passing it, we will be getting a result back to us, right? Like let's say if I say 10 as a value x, I will get the 50. So now that rule becomes very dynamic. Whatever value you will pass as a value x and y, you will get back the result. Got it? So now we have seen two kind of variables. One is the local variables, which is locally to that particular function, and then we have created another variable called rule input, which is a globally. All right. So this rule input is now behaving as a global. Whatever value we are passing to it, we are getting the result back to us. Okay. Got it?
You are saying either we can do it dynamically or we can do it statically.
Yeah. See, let's say your requirement is to get the value of 20 plus 30, then you can create a static, right? But someone else want to use your rule, but the requirement for him is like get value x is 40 and value y is 50, then your static rule is not going to give him the correct result, right? So you have to make it as a dynamic. So whatever value you will pass to it, you will get the result in the response according to your values, right? Clear, guys? Any questions? I see only two people are asking questions. What about the others? Is that clear to you guys? Sorry.
See, I have one more question. Okay,
Mhm.
suppose now you are so you are explaining here, and we don't have time now to execute this, right? So we need some time to execute, and we might during the that time we might get some kind of doubts or some clarification. How can we approach you? Will you be available?
Yeah, I can make myself available for sometimes, but not always, because I also have my personal works, right? So whenever I'll get time, not immediately, but whenever I get time, I'll try to respond back, right? I'll be available on WhatsApp.
I don't know. This is the first time that I have registered myself for the Appian. I don't have any idea about it. And kind of like, I kind of missed it when you were like, how to exactly get into my this one, maybe I have to
Can
look
you
back.
give on how to see this, like get practicing, like where we can do it? Because this is my first class. I'm pretty sure you had a demo.
Yeah, same here. So I kind of lost it when you said like, at the first I was, so I didn't know, just I registered myself, then it asked me to enter the company name and all. I'm not working. So I just, I was not clue. I don't have any clue. Just I entered something and I try to get into this. By the time you already started. So it's kind of like, was not in the same phase as you were.
Then why did you tell me the before when I was starting? I mean, you could
Yeah,
have
yeah, I was
stopped me,
thinking
right?
maybe
Didn't?
I will be able to get it, but then I went to the email and then checked it again, verification. Then it asked me, oh, you have to enter the extra details by the time you started. Sorry about it.
Sure,
Or
no
maybe
problem.
My
I'll see the
apologies too.
recording session.
I joined a little, like, 10 minutes late, and unfortunately I'm working. So that means I'm in my work day right now as we talk. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you can refer the, see, people will be sharing the video with you guys, right? So you can go and refer the video. So let's do the one thing, set up your account. Let me know if you have, you can get your instance of, and then you can refer the video. If you are not able to get it, then we can repeat the same thing in the tomorrow sessions, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it will be a good idea if you can have some, at least you are not, there. Suddenly someone will be there in the group. If we have any questions, we just post it and we get the answers then and there itself.
See, that's
Otherwise,
what there will be a WhatsApp group, but the thing is that that WhatsApp group you will be get added once you do the payment, right? So then you will be get added to it. What happens, people don't pay, and then they will still getting everything, right? The recordings and the questions and all, right? So that's why they have make it as a mandatory. Once you will do the payment, you will get included into the WhatsApp group. There you can post your questions, and whenever I'll get time, if not immediately, I'll try to respond, and but I'll definitely respond to your questions on there, right?
okay.
Yeah. So do one thing, set up your accounts. Everyone, this is for everyone. Set up your accounts, and let me know if you guys have any issues there, and then we can start, right? But I hope whatever I have declared mentioned about the local variables, you guys have understood this one, right? Or any doubt here as well? Okay.
Good.
So better we let's connect tomorrow again, and then uh, try to set up your accounts and get your instance. So once you will register yourself, I hope if you have requested for your own environment, it will take 15 to 20 minutes or more than half an hour to get it. Sometimes it takes more longer because many people are going to request it, right? So once you get that instance, it will send you an email about your instance details, like this is your login ID, this is your instance URL, where you have, and some with some initial password, you need to go and change your password, and you will be getting your instance back. Okay. So if you remember, I have shown you how to go to the designer. I'll show it again, so it will be in the recording again. Let me show you. So once you will log in, right, you will be going to your very initial page. You just have to click here and then click on the Appian designer. Okay. So once you click on the Appian designer, you will get this development page. If you are not getting that one, in case you are not getting that one, you just have to go and mention into the URL. This will be same till here, just mention backslash and then design. You will get it. Okay. Okay. So do that one, and then let's connect tomorrow, and then we'll see how to, to proceed further. If you want, we can repeat this local variable. All right. Is that okay, guys?
That's good. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And this Appian is only on cloud. You don't get it on site on prem or
No,
anything.
you can't get it, for your personal use, you can't get it on premise, but yeah, on cloud is available for everyone, so you can do the
And
practice.
once you create account, how long can you access it?
See, right now, initially it even Appian was giving you for the 45 days, but recently they have changed their role. If you don't use your account in actively for like continuous 3 days, it will get deactivated, and once it will get deactivated, you have to reactivate it. But if you reactivate it, your created objects will be gone. It will
Oh my
not be
God,
there.
that's bad. Only 3 days.
Yes,
Like if
only
you
3 days.
don't log in for
No,
3 days.
if we
No, no.
keep using if we are
If you
active in
keep
the
using,
account
it will
even
be
after
there.
45 days, it will work, right?
It will be work, yes, yes. But if you don't work for like 3 consecutive days, if you don't work, it will get deactivated.
And once you create it, you have to do all your practice in 45 day only. After 45 days, it will get
No,
reset.
no, no. For me, I mean, they have changed it, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm using this one is from last 3 months, the same instance. So they
Okay.
have definitely increased that one, right? But yes, if you don't work like continuous 3 days, it will be gone. So if, like, suppose if you're on leave or something, just try to open it like for 2 minutes Excel, but keep it in your mobile or somewhere, so it will be handy. So if you are like suppose 3 days of leave or somewhere, you're going somewhere, just try to open it. Okay. All right. Okay, then let's connect tomorrow
So
and
how
then
much
we'll
time does it take, to
reactivate it.
no, to send the, what do you call, the demo, like,
The video
yeah,
recording.
the video, yeah, the class of, whatever we have discussed, you guys will be
Mhm.
sending the demo,
Yeah,
right?
that will be. I mean, yeah, that will be sharing with you guys. I mean, immediately, like 15
Yeah,
to
I just
20
want to
minutes
see,
hardly.
by looking at it, how we can open it. Like, I just want to
Yeah,
look into how exactly we can play with this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'll talk to Sharita on this one, and then she will be sharing with you those details, and you will be getting it. Okay, it
Okay.
takes 15 to 20 minutes hardly, because they just need to download and then share with you all your progress, the URL and the link. And whenever people will share the links with you guys, please make a copy and save it on your local machine, right? Because in some days it will be gone from the source. So
No,
please make a
can you
copy and
please
keep
come
it.
again? What did you say? Sorry, I didn't get it.
If you don't download and keep a copy with you, right, in some days
Uh-huh.
it will be gone from the source. So please make sure you download it and then keep a copy with you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Then please set up your accounts. Krishna, Prem, Mayush, Swamyan, Saurav, Swami, Varun. You guys are not even talking, and Lakshmi. So please be interactive. Create your instance and let me know if you have any issues. Okay.
And one more thing, can you
Yeah.
see, in order to, there will be some kind of demo kind, like, there will be some text here, or, some notes where we can learn on our own, like,
Yeah. I will be sharing that.
okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Then let's connect tomorrow, and then I hope we will be able to get your instances so you can practice. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. We'll connect tomorrow at the same time. Bye.